And this offer news is also great because, Jamie, it means the Phillies are pushing their chips in. And I know there have been reports that, of course, as the top 7 teams, that the Phillies don't have the greatest chance, but you always have a chance when you at least put an offer in. This is like the house market is hot right now, for example, or not as hot, but it's like you at least put in a bid and an offer for that house, and you have a chance because you've done so. So we've gone back and forth about if the Phillies are more entertaining these conversations for a PR move, and to me, this shows they are at least trying to be aggressive. I know Alex Coffey's report definitely indicated that as well, but to see that they put their bid in, and probably not going to be as high as some of the other bids around that $300 million mark. They're probably a little bit lower, but at least you're giving Yamamoto the chance. And then I'm encouraged because, as we know, Yamamoto wanted to just listen to the pitches first before hearing the numbers. So to me, that means there's potential for Yamamoto to be more interested in maybe the club than just the bottom dollar.
It's possible, and it is exciting that they actually submitted an offer, and we'll see what happens. I remain very pessimistic about their chances. I mean, there's making an offer and there's making an offer. Right?
Yeah.
And it's like if you have the safety of knowing that these other teams are going so hard and pulling out all the stops and throwing so much money at them, it would be very easy for the Phillies, and I don't know if this is what they did, but it would be very easy for them to submit an offer that is not insulting, but a little lowball, and just say, hey, we were in the mix.
That's my theory. It's a great PR move. I don't want to cheapen it to that, but the fact that we're here and just that little bit of excitement goes, all right, John Middleton's really all in. He wants to do this. And that's fun, and that's fine.
We don't know what the number is.
Yeah.
It's an unknown offer for a reason, guys. Right. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a respectful lowball number. Right. I agree. Nothing that's
215.
Gosh. A number that's not probably going to be accepted. That's what it comes down to.
It feels like Philly would have to be the highest bidder, right?
It does,
because it doesn't seem like Yamamoto has any particular attraction to the city. As great as the city is,
I've been trying to tell him about pork roll this whole time.
Oh, no.
Exactly.
I'm surprised we've gone so long without you mentioning pork roll. It's been 38 minutes, and this is the first mention of pork roll.
Yeah.
Listen, at the end of the day, there have been various conflicting reports, but I think there's always underlying truth to that. And of course, as we've heard, he wanted to go somewhere iconic. He wanted to go somewhere that's a major club in terms of the history of baseball. Then there was wanting to play with a Japanese player, then not caring about that, then location, then not caring about that, West Coast, East Coast. All of that, to me, none of that actually equals anything with the Phillies.
Yeah.
Regardless.
It does.
Big stage. He did say he wants to play on a big stage, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you want to go a win-now team. But anywhere he goes could become more of that win-now team.
So it does feel like they'd have to be the highest bidder to get it.
I think he's going to go to a team that's at least top 2
I think
bidders.
He's going to the Yankees.
If you're getting $300 million offer and you're getting a 215, I mean, listen.
But then Alex Coffey says they're going to be aggressive. So I'm like, all right, are they lying in the weeds here? And Matt Gelb, a day or two ago, wrote the story about how the Phillies have only had 2 Japanese players in their existence as a franchise. And the fact that they've gotten to this stage of it is encouraging for the future of those Asian relationships. And whether it's
on scouting.
Yeah, they increased their scouting over there. They're making more trips over there to Korea, Japan. So, those are all encouraging things for the future because they have been slow to the Latin American countries, and they have been slow to Asia. So, it's all a positive step for the franchise.
I will say it does feel like the Phillies are crawling along because part of what came out throughout the course of the courting process for Yamamoto is that, they were able to do some of the same types of pitches they had involved with Ohtani years back to repurpose it now and kind of beef it up a bit for Yamamoto.
Yeah, the Dodgers had fucking Kobe.
I know.
Cannot
match that. Cannot match that. So, it feels like the Phillies are at least what I like is regardless of how this plays out, you're sticking your toe in the water. You're getting a sense of what is this process like? Because maybe not now. Maybe there is a future Yamamoto. We didn't think there'd be a Yamamoto when we had an Ohtani coming through the ranks. So maybe now there is a future Yamamoto that the Phillies will then be ready to push those chips in on and have a much better pitch that matches the Kobe Bryant level pitch for the Dodgers.
Yeah, so here's what Gelb actually had to say. And, maybe this will apply to Imanaga or Fujinama or maybe another pitcher or bullpen piece or whatever. Matt Gelb said this in his story. The Phillies making it this far in the process is something of a surprise, although it's unclear how strong their odds are to get Yamamoto. They already locked up Nola, and Dombrowski said at the time that they were happy with their staff. Quote, we'll continue to talk to people and investigate if we can get better, Dombrowski said earlier this month. I think there's something we'll do over a time period, but it may not be signing Trey Turner for the type of dollars we did last year. And still, yet, Matt Gelb points out they made an offer to Yamamoto. They have been interested in him for months. They have increased their scouting presence in Japan over the last 2 years, but they have never signed a player to a major league contract directly from Japan. They have not had a Japanese player on the roster since 2009, and if fit is important to Yamamoto, that will be a consideration. Yamamoto did not visit Philadelphia this month as he conducted meetings with teams. The Phillies throughout this process have not quite been sure if their interest in Yamamoto was reciprocated. They likely will not be the highest bidders. All of that is working against them in this free agent pursuit, but Dombrowski has a track record of landing stars and unwavering support from ownership, so the Phillies' presence is at least notable at this stage. So that's about as good as you can kind of hope for here.
Yeah. It's better than I would have expected at the start of the offseason.
Totally.
So that makes sense. You still get the sense that this is more about making inroads, setting things up for the future.
Absolutely.
And it's long overdue, to be honest. I mean, the Phillies always seem to sort of be behind the curve in these sort of branching out internationally. So.
Yeah, when they made the changes to the front office with Dombrowski and Preston Mattingly and Sam Fold, it was all about improving the underbelly of the organization. The major league product obviously had to improve, but the real failure of Matt Klentak, he did make a couple good moves during his time here. He never really improved the minor league system. He never got the international scouting better. And I think Dombrowski and Fold and Mattingly and these guys went, all right, like this has to get a lot better. This is not how a major market team should operate. So, this is a step in that direction. The minor league system's improved. The player development is improved, pitching, batting coaches, all that stuff has gotten better. So hopefully there's not that decade of unsustainability that we just went through, which absolutely sucked. And hopefully
I can't do it again.
No, I don't have another 10 years of bad baseball
like that in me.